Hey guys, this is John from US Dash Camera. Today I got a review on the PAPAGO GoSafe TPMS100. So this is a tire pressure monitoring system. So this was sent to me for review from PAPAGO. In the past I have actually reviewed a PAPAGO dash camera, and they asked if I wanted to review any other cameras. Now, I checked their website and I saw this on their website and I thought it was pretty interesting. So I wanted to do something a little different than a dash camera this time. Now my car actually does have a tire pressure monitoring system, but it doesn't actually tell you what the pressure is of each tire, or let alone which tire is even low. So I wanted to try this out and see if it's worth checking out for any of my viewers. This will definitely benefit anyone that doesn't have a newer car that has a tire pressure monitoring system. So here you can see some of the features on the back. It does work wirelessly, with a couple of small watch style batteries inside each of the tire pressure valve pieces. So here's a manual. It comes in a couple different languages. Here you can see the main devices. Each one is actually labeled for which tire it's supposed to go on. So again, you can see there it says RR for right rear tire. So you do actually have to make sure it goes on the correct tire, because they each have a unique wireless signal. And that's how the main part that plugs into your cigarette adapter will actually know which tire is which. So here we got a bag that has the batteries in it. This is a wrench for a nut that actually installs onto the valve stem behind the sensor cap. And I'll show you how to install it in this video actually. Now these big black plastic pieces that look like wheels are actually for taking apart the sensor. You'll see they're screwed together right now, but you can take them apart and you'll see there's different gears on each one that will fit into the sensor, and you can take them apart with those. Here's some spare parts. So you got a couple extra rubber rings, couple back plates. It does come with 5 nuts, so in case you lose one or strip one or something like that, you do have one extra. So this is a pretty complete high-tech package from PAPAGO. I had never actually seen devices like this before a month ago, so I thought it was pretty cool, and that's why I wanted to review it. So let's take a look at the actual device part. So it's pretty simple. It only has one button on it. It does have a USB port on the bottom in case you want to charge something like a phone. And once it plugs in, there are a bunch of different functions, and they are actually all controlled by the one button, so I'll go over that in a sec. So again, here's another close-up of the actual cap piece with the sensor in it. So the manual is pretty necessary, I felt like, for this device. It's not as easy to install as just screwing them on and turning it on. So I would recommend going through this manual. I will show how to do it in this video, but figuring out how to navigate through the different functions is actually pretty complicated if you don't read the manual. Here's some stickers you can actually place on your rim if you'd like to have a little warning so people know that they have to use that special wrench. You don't really need the wrench to take it off, but while installing it you will need it, because you do have to unscrew the nut while the cap is on so it tightens up against the back of the cap. So here's just a little warranty card and another manual in a different language. So now let's go ahead and take a look at installing this. So the first thing we got to do is install the batteries into all 4 sensors. Each battery comes in these little tiny Ziploc bags. Now using these 2 wheel pieces, we can disassemble the sensor. Now, I found it easy enough to just use the one piece for disassembling it, but when you tighten it back up, you will want to use both. Now, I couldn't get it completely off just by unscrewing it, so I just used the wrench to pop it out. Just be careful because it is made out of plastic. Now place the battery so the plus side is facing up. Once you push it in there, you can reassemble it. And there's a little rubber ring you should be careful of. So once again, with the wheels, we can tighten it up. And you will want to tighten it up so it's just a millimeter or two below the surface of the cap, because you'll actually want to place one of those black plastic pieces on top of it as a cover. Now once you have all 4 batteries installed, you can start the process of installing them on your tires. So go ahead and install the 12 volt hub into your 12 volt socket in your car. Now, like I said before, it's a little confusing if you don't read the manual on how to operate this because there's only one button. It can display both pressure in PSI and bar, and also temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Now, to switch between PSI or bar, you hold the button down for a few seconds and it'll beep once. But just pressing it quickly will switch between the pressure or temperature setting. Now if you keep holding the button down, it'll beep multiple times. When it beeps twice, that means you can set the high pressure setting. So if your tire goes over this limit, this device will actually sound an alarm and notify you that your pressure is too high. So let's set it to 40. The factory default is 46 psi, but I think that's a little too high for me, so I'm going to lower it. Now once you hold it even longer, it'll eventually beep 3 times, and that's how you're going to set the low pressure alarm value. Now I've been having a lot of tire issues with my tire leaking, so I'm going to set it to 28. Now if you hold it even longer, it'll eventually beep 4 times, and that's how you start syncing the sensors. So you'll see 01 is blinking, so you want to install that valve on first. So let's go ahead and install this on. And again, make sure you have the correct cap because each one is dedicated to one corner of your car. So make sure you get the nut on first and get it a ways on there because you're going to have to get the cap on. Once you get the cap on, you'll use the wrench to back the nut reverse so it'll be coming out on the valve, and that'll tighten up against the cap, and that should prevent any leaks from happening. Now you are supposed to use a spray bottle with some soapy water to test for any bubbles, and if you spray it and any bubbles form, that means there's air leaking, and you'll want to make sure it's tight enough. Once it's installed, it'll communicate with the hub and beep. So there you can see I have pretty low pressure. That tire always leaks, and that's why I wanted to be able to see what my pressure is at any time. So now you push the button just once like that, and you repeat that process with that tire, and then again you'll push the button once it's detected, and eventually you'll have all 3 on it, and they should all be displaying the pressure. So here I am on the last one. You can see my tire pressure is actually low on all of them. And again, that back left tire is pretty low too. So a lot of newer cars have this all built in, but even my 2012 Civic doesn't tell me the pressure of each tire, let alone which tire is low. Both my front and rear left tire are often low, especially when it gets really cold out or there's a big temperature change. And I really do just got to get the tires replaced or the valve or any leaks fixed. But overall, I think this is a really cool device. It'll let people with older cars or cars that don't have this advanced of a tire monitoring system in their car to actually get that feature. Now this retails for $120, and of course I'll provide a link down below to to Amazon where you can purchase this. I'd like to thank PAPAGO for sending this review unit out. I think it's a really neat device and could be very helpful for a lot of people. So anyways, if you like this video or my other videos, I'd appreciate if you hit like and subscribe. As usual, thanks for watching, drive safe, and I'll see you next time.